Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it is, wherever you are. Welcome on in to this special presentation of the Go Mode Podcast 2022 Mentor Tournament. It is the finals of the Tempered Sword bracket. More importantly, it is Game 3 of the Tempered Sword bracket finals, which means it is winner takes all here between Faker Jr. and AryaStark2942. My name is Wessidevandal. With me on comms is the Highwind.
Hello, Wes.
Hi. So yeah, this is gonna be a fairly high stakes match, the finals of the tournament, and off we go. Starting off with bombs in the standard start seed.
And we have a tank start on the other side, which starts off with 20 rupees. I think I like the bombs better.
Yeah. Don't have to go exploring for anything. To farm for bombs for, say, Kakariko. Early map check there, I saw red pendant on Eastern, and I think a normal crystal on Desert.
Yeah, and I believe we saw a crystal on Hera as well.
Alrighty. Arya taking those 3 bombs, and it's going to at least check Uncle here.
Uncle's route is a very traditional starting route.
Boomerang.
You always like to get an early item of any sort to stun, because you can check stun prices easily.
Well, turns out those 3 bombs aren't going to be that much of an issue, because the Bush Crab is so helpfully providing 8 packs of bombs.
Well, I don't see our runners spending any money at all on bombs.
Speaking of money, let's just rifle through our uncle's wallet. He'll be fine. But we really need that $20.
Hopefully the Hyrule guards don't need payment when they find him in the basement there.
Yeah.
Yep, we got blue crystals on Desert and Hera. 2 pendant,
Alrighty.
2 pendant and 2 red crystal Dark World.
Interesting layout.
All of our interesting prizes are in the Dark World because the green pendant's there too.
Yeah. Alright. Speaking of the opposite of interesting, not really much in Lost Woods of note.
I don't know what tier we're on, but that was 10 arrows. Might have been tier 3, maybe.
Possibly. I wasn't keeping track of how many Arya had killed either.
Yeah. So game 3. These 2 runners have had a long way to go through this tempered bracket.
Yeah.
And sure, just because it's the tempered bracket, it doesn't mean it's any less prestigious than any of the other brackets in this.
Oh.
They've all learned, and that's a hammer.
Yes, that is. It is indeed hammer time. And the other boomerang. So we have got stuns for days.
I'll avoid the usual question of which boomerang do you prefer?
Well, I think they're both okay boomers. Wait.
I'm just glad that they always come.
Go ahead.
I'm just glad they always come back to us.
We're
having
joke.
a South Shore.
Yeah. Instead of a Kakariko check by Arya, so we'll see if it pays off. It can be very high risk, high reward to put off Kakariko.
Well, I mean, Arya's going to be a fair bit later than a hammer, and those are the boots.
Yeah. And yeah, this is why I was saying high risk, high reward, because gonna be incredibly late to both those boots and the hammer, and that's quite a lot of stuff those 2 items can provide us with.
And Faker Jr. is taking those boots directly over to check out what's in Bonk Rocks.
Yeah, can't say I blame him. Really, just if you're getting the boots that early, that implies that they are blocking something. So you might as well take a look-see. Fetch quest time.
The seat can't get better now, can it?
Oh, why'd you say that out loud? Bottle
There's
from
our first bottle.
Yep, from the Mini Moldarm NPC. We did also see blue mail there.
Which means that once Arya goes to Kakariko, they'll be in red mail.
This is true. I'd already forgotten we'd seen blue mail in CAC.
Blue meal. I get it.
Yes. All right. Chat pointing out if Arya finds flute, it could provide a bit more reason for them to. Oh!
We ran into Beetorf!
Well, that's unfortunate.
I haven't seen that in a while, have you?
Nope.
I love the little messages hidden in the text boxes that nobody reads.
Yeah.
I like the one making fun of Andy in the Lost Woods.
Yeah. There are worse things to get caught by text-wise. Looking at you, Dark Death Mountain.
I was gonna say, Pink Puffball.
Yep. Please do not sing me the song of your people.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, I'm good.
That's a bow.
That is indeed a bow.
That has some interesting implications. Or it's the second bow. One of the two.
Yeah. Given the layouts, I'm gonna guess that's. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that's our logical second bow.
Always interesting. I was gonna say it's the first one because the second one's usually in GT.
Accurate. Honestly, now that I think about it. But
or in Pendant Swamp, one or two.
Alright. There's our glove. And a sword. So we are now a Moon Pearl away from having Dark World access between our runners.
I mean, yeah. There's still some mean places that Moon Pearl can be.
Yes, absolutely.
Anywhere in Hyrule Castle wouldn't be too great at this exact moment. Except for back here. This would be just fine.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
Pendant Eastern wouldn't be too good.
Nope.
You notice I'm avoiding the obvious. Wow, there is nothing in the back of Escape.
Yeah, only a bottle with a B in it, and then there are 2 dungeon items for Hyrule Castle in this mode.
That was a very easy upwards hitbox. And now having trouble with the rest of the upwards hitbox.
I was about to say, now comes the payment for that easy first hit.
That was a beautiful first hitbox, though.
It was. That was also a pretty good bomb placement on that last bomb there, because I was about to say, oh, that's gonna... Same. I was like, oh, that's gonna miss. But...
I like that the Lucario sprite turns pink, red.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good to have sprites that actually still somewhat match the color scheme of the males. Unlike, say, you know, my sprite of choice, Abigail, who starts in a blue shirt in green mail because that's her sprite in Stardew Valley.
I mean, at least mine starting and ending colors match. And then my blue mail turns my Leafy on orange.
Answering a question in chat, Arya did indeed do the back of Escape.
There was nothing there.
Yeah.
There was a bottle and map and small key. Which means the front is loaded, Wes.
Indeed. Including what would be one of my Either fire rod locking lamp in Dark Cross or lamp blocking fire rod in Dark Cross. Either one of those would be gross.
I mean, I've seen it go an extra step before and have fire rod blocking Bombos in Dark Cross, blocking lamp in Misery Mire.
Yikes.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Well, while we're just sitting here covering each other's tracks.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised Arya didn't at least think about going into Eastern, first of all. And I'm even more surprised Faker didn't.
Name Faker just got a glove, probably wants the back of Escape, and the front of Escape is still a lot of items.
True.
Mixing up our gravestones, not the hardest thing to do. And here's our bottle check, just some money.
Getting that fat bottle deposit from Lazy Kid. Nice. Alrighty.
Arya wants a potion.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're planning with that for later.
I mean, potion unlock glitch in Palace of Darkness, maybe?
Maybe. And here's that castle play, because Faker knows it's 4 items inside plus the 2 off Uncle. This is a very dense location for Faker to go.
Alrighty. So, there's rifling through Uncle's wallet again.
Take any spare change you find?
Yep. Which, I mean, to be fair, we have not seen a lot of rupees so far, and if there's something on the King of Scams, we need 500 of the buggers. So, that's the other thing where I'm like, potion? Okay, because that's 150 rupees towards 500.
King Zora never has anything anyways.
Clip it and ship it.
I mean, there's always... You can always just quote a famous runner and say that King Zora doesn't exist.
Much like anything of note in this escape so far, but, I mean, there's still a couple checks left here.
It is in logic to go down into Zella's cell with that key from back.
Yes.
So.
It'll be a little bit on the difficult side to set up a death warp with red mail, but luckily they are relatively low health.
Just don't kill that green guard. He does half-heart damage regardless.
True. Well, getting another full heart isn't going to help either.
I always like seeing these finals matches have late Pegasus boots, mostly because it lets the runners show what they've learned a little bit.
Mm-hmm. All right. Taking a little damage from the ball and chain guard here before finishing the job.
It's funny when the guy with the big swinging mace does less damage than the guy with the sword.
Oh, hello. Well, we don't need the death warp anymore.
That was conveniently funny. So
it looks like Faker is gonna go ahead and do the dark room here.
So Wes,
understandable, yes.
We have a glove, a hammer, and a mirror. What do you want to bet that there's a lamp hiding somewhere?
Oh God. Ugh.
Because that would be our logical mountain.
Yep. Either that or flute.
Yeah. And Arya is taking the mirror and going to Eastern.
Which... maybe speaks to Arya not quite being confident enough in the Dark Cross Dark Room execution?
Or might just want to stick more in logic.
This is also true. I mean, case in point, Faker is having a little bit of trouble with it here. I was about to say, I still have trouble with this dark room.
I don't, but...
Nobody likes a braggart, Zeke.
I'm not bragging about comparing to these, I'm just bragging about comparing to you.
I mean, longtime viewers of my personal streams will know that, number one, I'm being incredibly restrained right now, and number two... number two, would also describe, like...
Anyway!
practice. Anyway, moving on!
What are we checking here in Kakariko? Oh, the bottle. Okay, big key. So there's another logical check here in the front. So far, nothing in Eastern, though. Because our first check was a compass.
Well, yes, but also there pretty much has to be something here, correct? Because there's no other checks that I can think of that we have logical access to at this point.
You are forgetting about a certain old fart.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that guy I always preemptively bomb? Yeah, that dude? Okay. Mental trauma. Ooh, Faker gonna go ahead and do Dark Escape here as well.
Oh, good. A mushroom.
Yep.
That's what the cool kids are saying nowadays, right?
Yeah, sure. Also, has either runner checked shovel yet?
Yeah, both of them have. Actually, only one of them has, but Arya hasn't picked up the shovel yet. But Faker found a blue rupee on the shovel because he picked it up before going south of CAC. Okay.
Oh, there's Fire Rod, okay.
Okay, so, hey look, logically fire locked fire.
That also gives us access to Hera Basement in logic.
At least in logic, out of logic.
Oh yeah, because sorry.
All right, and last check we can get here in Pendant Eastern Palace. That's all 3 items, actually.
Yeah. Which
so
means...
as long as there's not something on the forbidden word.
5-6 is going to be Swamp and Turtle Rock. Looks like our green pendant is Misery Mire.
And we have a pendant pot. Both bow dungeons are pendants.
Nice.
I'm getting flashbacks to qualifiers.
Meanwhile, I'm just saying here, are we going to get the fabled seed where Ganon calls you a dingus for not having a bow?
That depends. Do you think the mentees can mimic clip?
Fair point.
You never know what they just want to learn, but it's not something I would assume a runner in this tournament would know.
No. For some reason, I was just thinking it was like, for some reason, my brain was like, oh, fast Ganon. I don't know why.
Did you play Reduced Crystals recently?
Probably. Either that, or I was remembering a bygone era, years gone by, where I was in a tournament match with a fast Ganon setting, and actually got to Ganon with no bow.
And he called you a dingus.
Yes. I was honestly expecting him to give me a bow hint, but no, he just said, you don't have a bow, dingus, which...
is infinitely funnier.
Yes. But also not very helpful when you're a newer runner on a tournament restream, again, facing down Ganon,
and
not confident in your Silverless.
I believe we still have... Did we get both items out of Hera now?
Think so?
Okay, with that freeze frame from the old man moving in, the dead rock looks like a hat.
Probably the most useful a dead rock has ever been.
What, making... I think it's the only time a dead rock has made me smile, so...
Alright.
Multiple versus Faker round 2?
Yep. Yep. Oh! Got him. Alright, so there's our first crystal down at 19 minutes and 49 seconds.
I'm going to hazard a guess that we got an item in the basement, then. So... Or, well, I said basement cage. Because we skipped the big chest.
Well, let's find out. Yep.
Magic powder, okay. Nice, easy crystal layout. Or dungeon layout. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah. Always nice when you don't even have to worry about Hera Basement at all.
Heck, you didn't have to worry about bomb jumping to the big chest.
This is also true.
We just got informed that you never know with the skill on the Mimic Clip comment earlier, since we had a pair of hoverers in the finals for gold.
Yeah, this is accurate. I mean,
the community is getting more and more powerful.
Yes, clearly they must be stopped. I mean, encouraged. Absolutely, that's what I meant.
All right, Paradox Cave, 7 items. One of my favorite caves to find. All of this logically behind the lamp or the flute.
God.
Five nothing. 6 nothing.
Cool.
We landed the jackpot here, didn't we?
Yeah.
Hey Wes.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Magic Bat or Agina?
God. Gross. But
which would you rather? Technically, what are your thoughts on the logic right now being on Agina?
You cut off there for a second for me. Sorry.
The logic is on Agina.
Oh. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I just realized you're right because the powder was in Hera. Yeah. Cool. Cool. Look, granted, I guess it's lucky both of our runners are basically last locationing that just like I would, so I can feel a little bit better about myself, right?
And we are last locating Agina between the 2 runners. Do you think Faker goes to Eastern first, though?
I mean, it's in logic. It's 3 items as opposed to 1, or the potential for 3 items as opposed to 1. I would definitely think. Okay, yeah. But then again, I will admit having some personal bias against Agina, as already demonstrated by me admitting to just openly, prematurely bombing the dude every time I have to go there.
So, we might have AryaStark be our first one to the Agina's cave. Their only checks left are these 5 here, which we know is a giant pile of nothing. And then...
Yeah, then he who shall not be named.
And Magic Bat. But
true, but that is technically out of logic, but...
Since when has a Link to the Past runner cared about logic?
Yeah. As Adam Savage once quoted from a movie I don't remember the name of right now, I reject your reality and substitute my own. That was the wrong reference. What the hell is wrong with me? Moving on.
Mushroom.
Oh. Yep.
I like... and a houlihan for the money for Zora. I completely forgot we had a glove, even though we used the glove to get up to the mountain.
Yep. The thing is, though, yeah, the houlihan's nice, but we're still going to be a little bit short of that 50, of that 500. And I don't remember what the stun price was, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't rupees.
Where are we going?
Arya still hasn't done shovel.
Ah. Arya could pick up... If Arya did, Agina could pick up 50 rupee cave on the way. But...
Fair. That's also a little bit of game knowledge, not that, doesn't come up very often in regular randomizer play. But it is there.
And we're probably going to turn into magic powder now.
Yep. We'll see if this is a leap in logic or if it's just a dead end here.
It's a piece of heart.
Oh, whoops, sorry, I forgot we'd already seen it. Zelda Speedrun's coming on in with that 26-person raid. Thank you very much. Welcome on in to this Go Mode podcast presentation. Mentor Tournament 2022 Finals.
Thank you, sir.
We got Game 3 action here between Faker Jr. and AryaStark. Looks like our logical progression here is going to be either Agina or the Mushroom, and we're just waiting to see which runner does which one first. Looks like Arya's heading for Agina here.
Faker forgot to set up for the camera break with the multiple jump.
Oof. Oh. And then just says, you know what, forget about it, I'm just going to go this way. Arya showing off that they do know
I mentioned earlier.
do know about the 50 rupee cave and are going to make use of it.
Yeah, you always remember it after your first time having to farm 400 rupees out of there.
Yep.
I haven't forgiven that seed yet. Here's our mushroom.
Right, nothing on Desert Ledge.
Nothing
on mushroom.
It's on Akina! So, what do you think it is? Moon Pearl? Pearl, Titan's Mitts.
It would...
It almost has to be one of those two.
Well, yeah, it has to be one of those
two. Or the book.
Yeah, I was about to say, the most likely one's going to be the Moon Pearl, because that opens up the most logically. Book would open up Desert.
And the Mitts would open up King's Tomb.
Yeah.
I had K45 in my last cross keys in King's Tomb, so that's what crossed my head.
Aha. Alright, so Arya immediately going to take the southern portal to the Dark World here, and it's going to check out, I would assume, the location sometimes known as Hype Cave.
We're going to go visit Johnny. As TJ Maelstrom calls him, Johnny Two Bombs.
Not a bad nickname. Alright, here we go.
Just a heart container for now. The
flickers. So we can pick up that bow and our Master Sword.
So, that makes the upcoming morgcl fight we have to do at some point easier.
Indeed it does. All right, looks like Arya is going to immediately pick up that bow.
Do you blame them?
No, not at all. All right, so there's the bow. And then gonna do some cleanup on the other flippers checks here. Nice little bit of routing here.
Looks like we're going to go visit our good friend the hobo.
Yep. And I find it a bit interesting that Arya is choosing to do this via the Dark World, because it also implies that they are going to continue in this area of the Dark World, which would be Palace of Darkness, Pyramid Ledge, Catfish.
Well, I like this because you can take it from hobo and then go back to the Dark World, do Pyramid Ledge, that's our other bow.
Oh my goodness! Hello!
Hi, Silvers!
Hello! Hello, Silvers! Away?
Did you say hi-ho, Silvers?
Yes.
Lone Ranger?
Yes.
Okay. In the pod. That is a call. Pendant pod.
Yeah.
Some people like this. Some people don't.
I mean...
and some people preach it.
I was about to say, as I've heard from multiple famous Link to the Past Rando runners, it's always Pendant Pod until it isn't.
Well, it's like that one Drake meme that goes around every now and then. Go to Pendant Pod.
Mm-hmm.
Drake doesn't want it. Don't go to Pendant Pod. Drake doesn't want it. I'm always wrong. So yeah, we have Pendant Pod on one side, Crystal Skull Woods on the other. One of them has more items, one of them is required.
Yep.
Unfortunately, they're not the same one. At least, one of them is node required.
Yep. Alright, so we'll see if this play pays off for Arya here. Okay. Like, say
Where,
if...
pray tell, did that moblin come from?
I would assume a
watching
bush
Arya's
or a skull.
screen, and there's a moblin in Skullwoods.
Probably a bush or skull pickup. That can happen sometimes. Let's see here. I mean, best case scenario for Arya is that hook shot is somewhere in here.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens as our runners continue to work their way through long itemless stretches of dungeon traversal.
There's plenty of items in Paw, it's just the 7 of them are keys.
Yeah. Alright, putting those silver arrows to good use.
Yep. And...
Baker feeling confident in his Master Sword and Hammer Mothula fight.
If you're comfortable with it, it's not that bad. Some people aren't comfortable with it.
I just realized he had to do that. He doesn't really have another way to effectively deal with the Gibdos.
Yeah.
Mothula, one of the few fights in the game where I would consider you're fighting the room more than the boss.
I have long since said that this boss fight is with a conveyor floor and spike blocks.
That's a cape.
That's a convenient spot for one of those. Because now you can go back out and check Bumper Cave if you need it.
Yep. Chat correctly pointing out Faker did have a fairy, so...
I believe both runners still have a fairy.
Yep.
Arya is making sure to grab these rupees, as many of them as possible.
Yep. Do have 2 bottles. Could be useful to fill
and
up.
Scamfish is still on the table.
Also accurate.
Well, there's both items in Skullwood.
Alrighty.
A day you don't have to do the back of Skullwoods is a good day. This is definitely a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon MSU, since we were discussing that earlier before stream. Because that is the jingle for Mystery Dungeon.
All right, Dark Maze here for Arya. Do you find that big key? All right, Hawk with a 4-person raid. Welcome on in. That's a map.
Welcome. I believe Hawk was in this mentor tournament as well, so...
Alright, so what's in the big chest of Palace of Darkness? Just a heart container.
Can now leave Mir back to the light world and go down to the portal.
Or this.
Have you ever noticed that runners really like to prove comms wrong?
Yeah. It's especially funny when they're on a delay. But I digress. Looks like we're gonna see Graveyard Ledge and
King's Tomb.
King's Tomb. Yeah, my brain was going. Wait, we can do King's Tomb, right? Yeah.
Yes, we can do King's Tomb, Wes.
Yeah. Because we were talking about the Titansmiths opening them earlier, and my brain went, well, we haven't found Titans yet. Then the other part of my brain was like, yeah, but we have the mirror.
One part of your brain was correct.
Yes. Which is one more part than is usually correct. There's Tempered Sword on Pyramid Ledge.
Always a nice find. Could our runners converge on Catfish?
That's
Do you think there's a chance our runners converge on Catfish?
I mean, it's looking really likely. Unless something is exactly here. Nope.
Because Faker could turn around and go back to Village, too.
True.
And here's the mushroom turn-in for Arya. And it looks like we are going back to... Nope, we are going to converge on Catfish.
I was about to say, Faker need to take the long way around.
You could bonk a rock inside the grave, which might be faster. But... Our runners are about to converge on Catfish and Zora at the same time, despite taking two completely different routes. I love this randomizer.
I was about to say, randomizer! Yeah! Alright.
I can't wait for the progression to be in the Village of Outcasts anyways. What about you?
Yeah, that's gonna be hilarious. Alright, Catfish. Hey, Zora Bunny.
Additional Zora money.
Alright, Waterfall Fairy.
Even more Zora money.
Yep. And Faker didn't have an empty bottle. Gets rid of the bee.
To put another bee in.
Yep. Bees?
Not the bees.
Alright. Bombs on the ledge.
Don't need those, do we?
Nope. Alright. Wheel of Zorality, turn. What is the item that we shall earn today?
A whole lot of nothing.
Nope, that's
yep,
a
whole lot of nothing. Nobody needs that. Hook shot on Zora. Hey, you remember about 20 minutes ago when I said Zora never has anything?
Yeah. And remember when I immediately said clip it and ship it?
Yup. That is why we like commentary, though, isn't it?
Alrighty. So, that's gonna open up Swamp, all the way.
It is, and Faker wants no part of it. So we are having another bout of route divergence. So, on one side, we have Swamp. On the other, we're going to have the Dark World. The Thieves' Town area.
Yep.
Both are good item locations to go for.
Yeah.
Both have a required dungeon. So, I don't see a problem with either route, do you?
No, not really. I mean, I think part of the reason Faker may not be thinking about going to Swamp yet is maybe just wants to have, Kane for possible diver down.
Or just wants to stick earlier in the logic, too.
That's true. And then the other part is, as we find our single arrow of destiny, nice.
I'm a fan.
The other part is Faker still doesn't have that tempered sword because he hasn't done Pyramid Ledge. So he may just also be like, you know what? I don't really feel like dealing with Master Sword Argus, so meh.
When you know what you're doing, this fight's not bad. But if it's not one you've had as much experience with, it can be a little tricky.
Yep.
But it is fun to do Master Sword Spin Argus.
Or, even dumber, menu-based Argus.
I have played Swordless. Because if you have any sword, it's still faster not to menu. Yes, getting double spins is faster than the hammer.
All right. In the swamp we go with Arya. Faker, meanwhile, going through Thieves. Not much of note found so far in either dungeon, but we're still fairly early on.
Of note is actually the fact that we found every dungeon item in Thieves. Aren't you glad this is a crystal so you don't have to make the 4 items in the back of Pendant Thieves decision?
Oh, God.
Now, here's
pretty high praise from Smirk in chat. These two playing at a pretty high level, which is absolutely correct.
Yeah, no, we've said before, the classes of Mentor Tournament have just gotten stronger and stronger.
Yep.
I'm scared of the pros we're going to put out in 2023. What about you?
I mean, yeah. I think it's more just
I'm scared of these guys.
Yeah. I think it's more just, I've started to kind of step back a bit from being competitive with Rando, so I'm just like, ain't my problem. Have fun with that. Yeah.
I wonder if a lot of it is also, as we go on, there's more and more mentors available, a lot of which have been mentored before, and so know what they found worked and what didn't.
Yep.
So, just the mentoring gets better because they know what to expect. Because I imagine the first year mentoring was a little more rough, because how do you mentor somebody for racing?
Yeah.
Anyways, Left Side Swamp. Anybody a fan of Left Side Swamp?
No, not really.
How about the lamp in Left Side Swamp? Ew.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
How about Titans in Left Side Swamp? Oh.
Why is that there?
Wrong tournament.
That is where the Titans mitts are in that meme mode, right?
The Titan mitts are in Swamp. Yes, they aren't guaranteed left side Swamp, but they are guaranteed to be in Swamp.
So like I said, what's that there? I don't care about the meme tournament. It's still a why is that there?
Comms, you're doing great. Thanks. It's going right up on the fridge.
Wait, you have a fridge?
Yes, and oddly enough, it's able to play Twitch VODs. Hashtag humble brag. Anyway.
Alright, blind script time. How good did Faker Jr. learn the blind script? Looking smooth so far.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Dropped on hit number 8, but that's really solid.
Yeah.
And Faker is going to be forced into the Swamp Palace now, too. After clearing this area, there's not much else.
I mean, if he wanted to be insane, he could do Pendant Pod. We know it's not anything of note, but... That is indeed a Quack Medallion. Pretty loaded swamp here.
No kidding.
Half magic in C-shaped house in Dark World, though. Village of Outcasts. That'll be helpful.
Nice to have, not required.
Yep. And bombs in the brewery.
I real favorite, bomb block bombs. Get them while they're hot.
Yep.
Amarith is never going to let us commentate together again, is she?
If I haven't been banned yet, I think we're good. Good use of silver arrows on Argus there.
Yeah, very quick kill. Just a piece of heart there. You can't have a completely loaded swamp.
Yeah.
Something's got to be bad.
I was about to say, can't all be winners, kid. All right.
K45?
Absolutely not. All right, K45 bombs.
What about our good friend old Stumpy?
Which our runners are going to converge on Stumpy.
We are converging on NPCs.
Nice rod, Stumpy. Wait. Oh god. Oh no. Moving on.
Do I want to ask?
No, you don't. Move on.
No, I think it's time for story time with Wessidevandal.
Nope. Anyway.
What do you think, chat?
Nope. Nope. All right, Faker going into Swamp, which is the expected play here.
It's also very definitely hard required.
Yes.
Unless you're playing glitch modes, it's very hard required. This is not a glitch mode.
Yeah.
Trust me, I would know.
So, Arya deciding to go up here and do Village of Outcasts and Thieves, when they do have full logical access to ice as well.
I don't hate this. You can from the south. You can get Smith Chain. You can do Smiths into hammer pegs. I was trying to think of the right name and not the meme name from several years ago.
Yeah. The one that became a meme, even though in the original clip of it being uttered, you can hear the person that said it wanting to sink into the earth, much like I did about 3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one? Yeah.
Yeah. But...
Alright. Jeremiah getting returned here. Very good friend of mine.
He's Bullfrog, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. He helped me drink my wine.
Three Dog Night?
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Yep. Alright, hammer pegs now. Chat pointing out, ice pretty quick to get to after a save and quit, which is true.
It is. The one downside of this route is it does heavily isolate this purple chest.
This is fair.
Because you can probably safely say Arya will be going north to Skullwoods following this Village of Outcasts trip.
Mm-hmm. Batter was done pretty early in the seed, yeah. To answer a question in chat.
I was very confused why we were calling it Batter.
Mad
The
Batter.
Mad Batter.
Yep.
Yeah, I am so used to just calling him Magic Bat.
Alrighty. Baker going left side here. gonna be happy/disgusted to see Lamp and Titans. I would
Happy to
assume.
see the lamp, disgusted to see the Titans miss. And we might be getting a bomber down.
Yep.
If this fire snake would leave us alone.
Nah.
Never happens.
Nicely done. Oh, almost
Not
nicely
quite.
done.
Not quite. Looks like it was a pixel off.
Yeah. Looked good to me, but then again, I haven't learned bomb diver down. I'm just...
I have learned it 3 times. Guess how many times I've forgotten it?
2?
3.
Hmm.
I think I know some friends of mine who would like me to learn it.
Hmm. And now we're gonna see some sunk cost fallacy here from Faker, I think.
Well, at this point, we flooded the key, Wes.
Oh, fair.
There we go. Turn left. Okay, good. Yeah. Once you flood that key, you want to get it.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that little detail.
So yeah, now our runners are covering each other's tracks. We're about 50 minutes in, or so. 51 minutes in.
Yep.
So, shoutouts to Wessidevandal for joining me here on commentary.
Hey, always a pleasure.
And more importantly, shoutouts to morgcl, our tracker today. Without a tracker, where would we be, Wes? Still here, and still not know what we're talking about.
Exactly.
And
we would be memeing, and chat would have no idea who had what. But thanks to more clicking buttons behind the scenes, chat can look at the screen and realize that our runners are sitting pretty well inventory-wise right now.
And that we still don't know what we're talking about. And
we know what we're talking about. We just choose not to talk about it.
Yeah, and shouts to Amarith for putting on this broadcast. I believe this is a rebroadcast, but
it is.
But hey, it's a finals. It's almost criminal that it went unbroadcast, right?
Correct. All right.
3 attempts at this.
No pressure. All right. So went ahead and dropped the commands in chat there because we just did all the shout outs to our crew here behind the scenes. Don't forget to give the runners a follow as well because as has been kind of mentioned already, these two are going places in randomizer, we do believe. And then thank you as always to the Go Mode podcast for providing a space for us to do these rebroadcasts. Check out the podcast if you haven't already.
It's a fantastic podcast. But coming up on some more boss fights.
Yep. We'll see how Faker deals with Master Sword Argus here.
And we'll see how Arya's blind script is.
That blind pun actually made me look. I mean, not that I don't do this myself already on a pretty consistent clip, but the first time I ever saw the specific blind pun we just saw, it was actually on Restream, and I misread it and thought it was an actual hint.
Oh, was it?
Meyer requires
by Ether Quaker Bombos.
Yeah. So I got excited on commentary, and then I realized, oh wait, that was a blind pun. Oh no.
Well, I mean, for all we know, it does require Ether Quaker Bombos. I assume it requires Ether Quaker Bombos.
Yeah. It would.
Blind is
it
just
does.
trying to be helpful.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the 2-in-1, the 2 fire 1 spin doesn't quick kill with a Master Sword. And that puts 4 crystals on the table for us.
Yep.
What do we need to finish out our crystals at this point, Wes?
We need the Cane of Samaria to get into Turtle Rock.
The cane, maybe a medallion, and access to Desert Palace.
Yep. So Flute or the Book of Medora. So at max, we are 3 items away from go mode. We could be as few as 2 from go mode.
Yeah. We need to... Guaranteed, we need one of the 2 plus a cane, and maybe a medallion.
All right, looks like Faker is going to be heading for, never mind. Gonna do Pyramid Ledge first.
So long as... You can almost safely say that Pyramid Fairy is dead, so long as the flute and the book are not both in there.
Oh God! I mean, this seed has already pulled the one of the dirtiest left side swamps in recent memory. So
that was an awful left side swamp.
It's like the world's weirdest Sour Patch Kids ad, honestly, because there was that sour left side swamp, but then the sweet 2 bows within inches of each other. Case in point, here's Faker getting his bow from Camper here.
Everyone's favorite man under the bridge.
Yep. So, would that mean his name is Anthony Kiedis?
I don't actually get that reference, my friend.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I live under a rock. So.
Alright, so Arya taking care of Mothula here. Getting that cape. Faker, meanwhile, gonna go, oh hey, I'm gonna grab my silvers.
Oh, that's why Faker didn't come over. He never checked it.
Huh.
He didn't know the boat was there. And here's our first trip to Ice Palace.
Alright. Gonna see the long way around here because we do not have Cane for Icebreaker.
You can't say it was surety. Maybe it's in Compass Chest.
That would be a location for Cane of Samaria. Not gonna lie.
If that happens, I'm going to laugh.
No, even better. It's going to be in the chest in the room where you icebreak.
Nope, just that. Alright, so, what are your thoughts on the Ice Palace bomb jump?
You know, the thing with me is I used to be pretty automatic at it, and then Icebreaker happened and I learned Icebreaker, and oh boy.
And then you got lazy.
Yep. Hashtag story of my life. Ugh. Yeah, I'd feel that way too, Faker. Just take a moment and stare into the middle distance at where things went wrong there.
And a raid from my good friend Dreeky. Hello. Welcome to a fantastic restream here.
And, well, for Faker's sake, I hope he's put some practice in, because he's going to have 3 shots at it.
I might have picked up a bomb upgrade before coming in here. It is not the hardest one to line up of tricks. That looks like a pixel too high.
Yeah. Like one.
That looks good.
Okay.
I brought my face right up to my screen to look at the space between the bomb and the sword. For reference, for those trying to learn how to set that line up for the vertical movement, if you have a Master Sword or higher, there is 1 pixel of space between the bottom of the shadow and the top of the sword. If you have a Fighter Sword, there's 2 pixels.
Alright.
AryaStark came in here for the back of escape. The Dark Cross that they left earlier.
Aha. Just 3 bombs, though. As we already knew. Faker. Making his way up towards the icebreaker room chest here.
First, the map room. Or as some people call it, the H room.
Yep.
Because it does, in fact, look like a capital letter H.
Alright, there's our big key.
Alright, and here comes AryaStark, right behind for Ice Palace.
Red
Well,
item,
it's
but
red.
just 20 rupees, yep. Alright. Down further into the depths we go, and we've only seen 1 item so far out of ice.
Yeah. 1 item, both dungeon items. Faker, you need that key. You need to open that door.
Yeah. There'll be other keys,
There's no way
trust us.
back. I think Faker's just trying to avoid the long way around to iced tea. Which, fair. Also, why does this dungeon have 3 letter-shaped rooms?
Somebody was really into Sesame Street when they were designing this dungeon, okay? Don't question it.
I mean, without this dungeon design, I'd believe anything.
Alright, so we do still have 1 item extant here in ice.
There's an item and a small key.
Faker gonna see if that item is on cold stare here.
Well, if it is not, then...
Ooh, Arya having a little bit of trouble. There we go.
If it's not on cold stare, you know that this dungeon is locked by the King of Samaria. But... well, it's not locked by the King of Samaria!
Oh. Ugh.
That looks a pixel too low.
That's definitely a spot for that.
I've never seen this setup before for Ice Palace Bomb Jump.
Got it.
Yeah, with that setup, I could not visualize.
All right.
So, Turtle Rock.
Yep.
Let's go find out if we can get in, shall we?
Indeed. Now, granted, we if we can't, we do still have Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny to check. See if they left the keys under the door.
But if it's not here, that tells you a few things about where to go next. Namely, where else do we have to go?
Good. I mean, we found all 3 items in Eastern, so it's not in Eastern. I wasn't paying attention to the item count.
Okay,
well, it's a moot point. We can get in.
So, I want your opinion. Do you check Do you just do the dungeon, or do you check Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny?
I mean, I would just do the dungeon, because in a non-key sanity mode, you're gonna be opening a lot of the Turtle Rock chests regardless.
Yeah.
You have to do the dungeon anyway. You're on tempered and half magic.
I asked you because I'm a key sanity player. I don't know the strats.
Yeah. Yeah, I would just go ahead and do the dungeon while you're here. Because if it, like, I'll put it to you this way. If you leave now and it's up here anyway, you have to climb back up.
I mean, yes.
Like, it saves you, basically it's saving you a mountain trip either way.
Oh,
So,
I was asking you if you do Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny looking before going in here is all.
Yeah, no, I don't think you do.
As soon as possible.
Yeah. I don't think you do, because you have the dungeon anyway, and there's just as good a chance that it's in here as it's in those other two locations. So I would just do the dungeon. But that's also just owing to being like, oh yeah, there's always something on Laser Bridge. You know, going back to those old chestnuts of, you know, old wives' tales from old rando runners, you know?
Smirk JD in chat has confirmed this is Pokemon X and Y music.
So, okay, actual story time with Wes. I think I've told this story on stream before, I can't remember, but I've never really been able to get into the Pokemon series. Because back when I was a younger lad, there was a website called Switch House that allowed you to like list what you owned media-wise and what you wanted, and find other users who wanted what you had and had what you wanted, and like facilitate trades. And one day I decided, you know, Pokemon Red and Blue is getting pretty huge. I want to try playing that. So I listed Pokemon Red and Blue as one of my wants. And I happen to have Chrono Trigger for the Super Nintendo. I traded Chrono Trigger straight up for Pokemon Blue. And then as soon as the day I got Pokemon Blue in the mail was the day I found out, hey, Chrono Trigger is actually incredibly rare. So, yeah, that kind of colored my perception of Pokemon as a series, because every time I look at Pokemon, I just think of how stupid I was as a kid.
I don't have that problem. I just like Pokemon.
I'm sure it's a perfectly fine series, and it's fun to play. It's just every time I see Pikachu, I go, damn it!
Wes, language.
I'm going to dignify that with a response. Anyway, Mimic Cave, here we go.
Yeah, call me Captain America there. Anyways,
I understood that
Cave.
reference. Alright. Bombs. Which cannot save us from the path this conversation has taken. Progression, please.
Yes, please, give us progression.
Alright.
Yes, a small key counts as progression, question mark.
Yeah. I also kind of wanted to point out, Faker deciding to spend a little bit of magic and use the platform there when he could have just hook-shotted across.
Personal preference, there's not really that much of a difference.
Yeah, I mean,
you
there's
can get
a
full
full
magic refill in the maze anyways.
Yeah.
Hookshotting's faster, but how many frames do you need to save?
All of them.
Save the animals.
Reading from Germany? Wait.
Oh, wait, we're not GDQ, hold on.
Baker deciding not to grab any of the refills from the maze. Probably going to go ahead and grab stuff from the pre-Trinex rooms.
At this health bar, I'd consider taking our good friend the safety door down there.
Yeah, I mean, Faker does still have the fairy, but, you know, it would be kind of embarrassing to have to use it here. Faker, I think, realizing that, and does take the emergency exit.
I'll be honest, despite the fact that I play modes where I go in that door regularly, I forget that there's a safety door down there when I am playing open.
I will say expertly dodged lasers there by Faker.
Skipping out is easier than skipping in.
All right, Arya taking the opposite approach here to Faker. Did open Turtle Rock, but did not go in, choosing to do... Oh, there's
Go mode.
Hookshot Cave.
Arya will get to go mode Turtle Rock, so won't have to open all those extra chests.
True.
Flute for go mode, huh? Now it's gonna be funny when the book's on Trinex. Okay. Shoutouts to the fact that there are mentor tournament runners on our screen right now who can do strategies I can't.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful backdoor Trinex.
Yep. Yes, indeed it was. And then gets a few hits in before the actual weak point activates for a pretty fast phase 3 as well. All right, so I would imagine Faker's not going to be too far behind here in getting to go mode. Going to go grab the flute out of hookshot. And
this
proceed.
race is going to be close.
Yep.
This one could easily come down to GT routing.
Indeed, it could.
And despite the fact that Arya did get to go mode first, is slightly behind Faker Jr.
Yep.
A little bit more thorough on their trip to Ice Palace. But, again, this race is too close to call.
Well, and also did do Pendant Pod earlier.
Mm-hmm. So the fact this race is as close as it is,
yep,
just shows how good these runners have become.
Can't push it that way, are you? Have to go from the left. Sorry.
Today I learned you can't push that block to the right.
And I would guess that's because of, you know, the fact that the trap switch exists there. Like, with how Link to the Past is, I wouldn't be surprised if leaving the ability to push that block to the from the right caused game-breaking glitch that like bricked your Super Nintendo or something.
I just noticed Amarith had turned the Turtle Rock into an airplane.
Please return your Trinex to the upright and seated position.
How long were you sitting there after I said that thinking the entire time?
I was more just like, do I actually want to say this? Because it's not that strong of a joke.
The answer is yes. Because
I mean,
like
me, when is a joke being weak ever stopped me before? You're right.
I was gonna say, like me, you're an idiot. Desert Palace. Shall we change topics back to the race again?
Yes. All right. So, just how... I mean, boots were incredibly early in the seed, but just how boots locked are we?
Let's find out.
Yeah?
More news at 11.
Are we turbo boots locked, or not boots locked at all? We are turbo boots locked.
We are absolutely boots locked.
Are you? There we go. Amarith, we're all dinguses by dint of playing randomizer, as Ganon will take every opportunity to remind us.
Amarith is making a reference to my old league team, where
Yes.
the three of us, where one of my teammates had labeled their camera as Idiot Cam, one of them labeled it as Moron Cam, and so to match, I labeled mine as Dingus Cam.
Mm.
Since then, I have quit using my webcam.
Nice use of the Canis Samaria for a smooth run through the switch maze there. The gap is widening a little bit here, I would like to point out. Faker is going to be done with Desert and heading for Ganon's Tower here. Arya is still going to have to activate their flute.
And then do Desert, which is not the most favorable speed layout.
Also having a slightly slower Trinex fight.
That's the difference between back door and front door.
Oh, even that, and even for a front door fight, the heads were being a little bit on the mean side.
Don't you love it when Trinex is trying to... Oh!
Oh,
Did
baby!
you see those silver
triple.
shots?
Nicely done by Faker there. And simultaneous crystal pickups. Unfortunately for Arya. Yeah, that was a good same old arm there.
That was a good sand mold worms, yes.
Yes.
Just like the boss of Eastern Palace is the Moldorm Knights.
Hmm.
Everything's a Moldorm if you look close enough.
It's Moldorms all the way down?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. Latmulus, there we go. Jesus, brain. Holy moly. Anyway, it is now time for a game we like to play. Faker has 7 crystals and is heading up to Ganon's Tower. Shut up, Zeke. There are 22 locations in Ganon's Tower where the big key could be. 1 to 22 in chat where you think that key is going to be. Closest, without going over, may or may not win a prize that may or may not exist.
Is it non-existent brownies? I like non-existent brownies.
Mayhaps.
Anyways,
You've heard my commentary before, Zeke. You know where this is going.
Oh, absolutely. But it's in my contract to be an idiot. So, where do you want to see the big key? And where do you want to see big key that isn't tile room now?
To see, like, I would love to see it be. I don't want to put an exact location on it, but I would love to see it be on the opposite side of wherever Faker decides to go, so that we see a bit more of a potential for close of the gap here.
I like that too. Yeah. Do you have a favorite number by chance for it?
I usually go with like 3, the torch room, with the way I usually route Ganon's Tower.
I like number 13, so. Which, depending on how I'm routing, either slots it nicely at the end of Rando room, or I believe my other route of choice puts it in Bob's chest.
So the route Faker decides to take is going to put torch as item number 1. It was just rupees. So onwards we go to the Stalfos room here. 2.
Nope.
3.
Nope.
And 4. All right, so
check for a better sword since you're in the room.
All right, so that's gonna do it. Trix with the answer of 1 is closest without going over. It really is like The Price is Right. Wow. So Trix, your prize is a lifetime supply of Link to the Past randomizer seeds, redeemable at ALTTPR.com.
So Hoshbot can help you with that.
Yeah. No purchase necessary. Emulator not included. And as always, if your standard seed lasts longer than 4 hours, please consult the YouTube tutorial.
Why did I take a drink while you were doing that?
Why did they catch you off guard? Because, like I said, this is my bit. entire bit.
Why
Anyway.
did I make the mistake of taking a drink while you were handing out the prize?
Arya heading into the Landmolus fight here. Faker, meanwhile, beginning the climb up the gauntlet.
Heading toward a Landmolus fight, actually.
True. A slightly more difficult Landmolus fight with the Medusa in there.
Unfortunately, missed the last arrow here on Landmo 1.
Yeah.
Still beautiful first two, though.
Yeah.
Don't you wish you could shoot silvers that well? Because I certainly do.
Yeah.
I do wish you could shoot silvers that well.
Faker probably wished he could have some of those fire rod shots back, but cleans it up. Does go ahead, take a pit stop to grab a health refill here, and into Landmolus 2 he goes. Not gonna have quite as good of a time with this one. Does get 2 out of 3.
Still has a really good time.
Yeah. And, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
These are still my favorite rooms in the game. They are so satisfying when performed perfectly.
Yeah. And on the flip side of that, though, when they aren't going your way and you're, say, in a race and you haven't seen a dot done, these are probably some of the most tilting rooms in the game. Like, if you start having a bad go at it here in the torch room, speaking from personal experience, nothing tilts me faster than, cool.
Also, the Wizard rooms, when you're not the one playing and they're going wrongly, they're hilarious.
Fair.
We're not even going to look for a butter sword up here. We don't care.
Yeah. I mean, 11 hearts, blue, red mail, tempered sword, half magic, silvers. You really don't need the extra stuff from gold sword, honestly.
At this point, how much time does gold sword really save?
Yeah.
Not much. It basically guarantees you're 1-1. Which, granted, that's a phase increase, a phase duration decrease for me because I don't know how to do 1-1 to this day.
Yep. Arya just starting to do what my route usually is through Gannis Tower, does Hope Room first. And luckily for them, there wasn't a key in right side. So they're going to be forced over to Stalfos Room here, where they're going to get that big key and head up the gauntlet. Meanwhile, Faker in Geometry Wars here.
Can you solve my geometry puzzle? That was almost a nice hit for that second one.
Yeah.
Aga, you didn't have to.
All right. And Faker going to be heading into the big pig fight right as Arya starts climbing the tower here, or the gauntlet here.
Well, climbing the tower was correct, Wes.
True.
That was not a wrong statement. I don't see why you had to correct yourself.
I just like saying gauntlet.
It's a funny word.
Yes.
Alright, having a little trouble here in Mimics 1.
Meanwhile, Ganon needs food badly, apparently.
Grumble, grumble.
Yep. Also, gauntlet reference.
Oh yeah, this is absolutely X and Y. I can hear it now. Because this is a great champion theme for a champion who's not that threatening.
Right. Going ahead, putting on that cape to avoid taking a fire bat to the face. And, oh my goodness, Ganon, please. This warp pattern. Why?
Sometime today, please.
Oh my goodness, this warp pattern, though.
That's 9. 10. I don't count the first one after the hit. 10 warps. Ganon.
Silver, my one true weakness. Whoa!
Ooh, almost had that triple.
Whoa!
Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh.
Did your heart stop a second there?
Yeah, just a little bit. Oop.
And just our good friend, the 1x3 tile bridge.
Yep. As long as Faker survives the most dangerous 1x3 in all of Hyrule, he's going to go ahead and take down the Tempered Sword Bracket Finals here. Yep, there it is.
And get your GGs in chat for Faker Jr., who finished in a time of... Amarith, can you please provide this in chat?
By his timer, 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 40 seconds. I can't imagine it would be very
Too much
different.
further off.
Yeah. Cool seed, right? Ugh. Sorry, I just happened to look at the text on the restream. Yeah. Official race time is 1:25:38. Yep. That tracks.
Yeah. So, yeah. Excellent. Excellent race from both runners, though.
Yeah.
And honest, 125 open in the mentor tournament is a great sign of improvement.
Yeah.
So, both runners should be proud of this race.
Yeah, and honestly, all it really comes down to is Arya deciding to take that risk in Pendant Pod.
It's not a bad gamble, though. Is the
No,
thing.
it's not. No,
potentially 5 items.
Yeah. And like we mentioned when it was happening, if Hookshot was in Pendant Pod, it turns into a completely different race from that point. Granted, now given where Titans was in this seed, maybe not, but because you would have been hard funneled either into Hookless Swamp or Pendant Pod. But given the information on hand at the time the decision was made, yeah.
Geometry is hard.
Agreed.
But...
Alrighty.
Ding, 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 ding,
Yep.
ding. I'm guilty of doing that.
Let me in! Oh.
Let me in! Let me in! Let us out! Let us out!
Alright. Down into the big pig fight goes Arya. Shield on the pedestal. Nice. Alright. So let's see Arya's take on the big pig here.
Cape strats.
Yeah.
It's just makes it free.
Yeah.
Half magic cape.
And well, Arya came into the fight with slightly more health than Faker did. Also, still has a red potion, I believe.
I think still has a fairy, too.
Yeah.
That red potion. We were so confused.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I can say this from my experience, sometimes just having that potion makes you play better.
I was about to say, potion of confidence. You're like, okay, I can do this because even if I screwed up, I've got, recovery in my back pocket. Interesting, neither runner going for the torch glitch. I mean, yes, granted we have half magic, but
it's not the most necessary thing. Right, and just crossing the 130 mark, Arya Stark wraps up the fight.
I would guess racetime.gg is going to be about 1:30:31, as Arya has forgotten to stop their live split. Oops.
Happens. But well played race from both runners. I do believe Arya Stark will be joining us in the interview, but due to the hour across the Atlantic, it's too late in the evening for Faker Jr. to join us. And I believe that is Arya Stark joining us in the booth now. GG's.
Hey, thank you.
So,
all right.
It's been a day for you. It's been a day since this race.
Yeah.
But, do you have any thoughts about how this seed went?
Honestly, it felt like it flowed really well. I played a lot of funky seeds in the playoffs, and this is the one where it felt like we moved to progression. Aside from, I didn't watch I have a hard time watching myself back, so I didn't watch the full restream, but I do remember that there was like the massive hunt for like the pearl early on, and after that it felt like it flowed pretty well though.
Yeah, it was a pretty close race for both of you, and honestly, both of you kind of had an experience going for that moon pearl. But then again, with it being on Agina, which is one of those checks you either do early or your last locationing it. There's not really an in between on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, it's usually the latter. So,
yep.
And it was just, it got down to like we got a bunch of yucky stuff, and I'm hoping that maybe I fall over it before he does.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you weren't able to get the win on Game 3, but that's not the point of this tournament, is it?
No, I mean, it was interesting because like early in the playoffs, like the first few rounds, even though I was pulling out these wins, I wasn't feeling really great about the way I was playing. And the last couple of games, I mean, I think I leaked a little bit more time in game 2. In this game, afterwards I just came out feeling like I just got beat. I just got beat by a really good player who beat me on a seed that I think I played pretty well. And that's, yeah, as you say, this tournament is not solely about wins and losses. Compared to where I was entering this tournament, which was, I had a pretty decent level of confidence in my game, but I didn't have a great understanding of a lot of stuff regarding the nuances of racing and strategy and additional techniques. And game 1 of this series, I think we both wound up playing it lampless, doing a ridiculous amount of dark rooms and hard stuff. And it's stuff that I wouldn't have been able to pull off before this tournament. And for me, that was like vindication for all of the effort that, my primary mentor throughout this entire tournament was Vortex of Doom. And he provided so much support and time and effort into helping me. And I was able to apply so many of the things that he had taught, and it was outstanding. I felt so great about it, and I would have loved to win the bracket, but there's no shame in losing these 2 games to Faker, who played great. And I feel really, really good about how things ultimately turned out.
You said you weren't as confident in things about routing beforehand all this, and you end up with a great mentor for that.
Oh, absolutely.
Vortex is one of the best when it comes to actual routing.
Hmm.
So, but do you have any questions, Wes? First off,
Not really. This I generally tend to bomb interviews like this, but yeah. No, this was a pretty good race by both of you. Really, it just came down to one decision that was good at the time that just happened to not pay out, and that's you went dependent pod, your opponent didn't.
Yeah, that's what I had a feeling that that's what it was. We didn't actually really talk much after the race.
Mm.
but
So I wasn't sure, and that was the one thing. I thought the two things were maybe he stumbled into like Moon Pearl way before me, or maybe he didn't dip pod, which I don't even remember if it had anything of use. But I do like that early pendant pod play. Again, if it hits, I mean, it can really set you up. And I won multiple playoff races in large part because of it. On this occasion, not so much, but
Yeah.
it's. Yeah, I still felt good about it, and I think there were a couple of items that were in like semi funky locations, like silvers were on pyramid maybe, and I remember the mitts were on left side swamp, which is funny.
Yeah.
And so like as the race was going on, I'm kind of thinking, okay, there's also a chance too that maybe he skips something here, he skips something there, and my time was decent enough that I'm like, hey, it could wind up winning, and I don't check the race room, and when I pull it up after the Ganon fight, he finished, and it's like I can see that, but
Yeah.
and you kept it within 5 minutes. And honestly, a 125 and a 130 for a open seed as your final race in this bracket just goes to show how much both of you learned through this tournament.
oh, absolutely. I think this was my best time in this tournament, and yeah, it again, it wasn't the ultimate high note to go out on because you wind up on the losing end, but I mean, I've lost plenty of matches and I've won plenty of matches, so that's not the big deal. I was very happy that if you're gonna go out getting beat while you're playing well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Do you have any other final thoughts on this Minter tournament that you've gone through before we close out?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely again want to thank Vortex so much because he's probably tired of me thanking him, but he deserves every bit of it and more. He's a great person, somebody I consider a friend now, and was an outstanding mentor. I mean, thank you to the Go Mode podcast for putting this on. I was hesitant to join. I'm definitely like anxious about reaching out to people. I didn't want to be a burden or anything like that, but it's been more than I expected to get out of it. I've met a lot of great people, gotten to do be on Restream, learned so much, been able to work with people in calling some of these matches, and yeah, I mean it really made me feel even more like part of a community, which is awesome. I want to thank like Wes and Zeke, you two, for calling this match today, taking your time to do that. Morg for tracking, and Amarith deserves a incredible amount of thank yous for all the effort they put on in the last few days to put all of these matches on the air. And also want to thank the folks at Bolas Azulis, because even though I don't speak Spanish, I was on their restream several times in the playoffs, and those folks there, Matt Cap especially, were super nice to me. So yeah, this was just an outstanding experience, and thanks everybody who helped make it so great.
Absolutely. I guess my last question before we wrap up is, do you have plans to continue this racing career further?
Yeah, as far as you call it a career, yeah, for sure. I'm going to be participating in the league, which kind of like watching like the videos for the league and some of the speed gaming stuff this winter is what made me want to consider going into speed racing a little bit to begin with, and like to be able to participate this coming fall with we have a team with Shinmaru and Smirk. That's going to be so much fun. And yeah, I just want to keep playing, keep trying to get better. I think there's a lot of outstanding players who are in this tournament alone. I don't know that I have as high a ceiling as some of them may have in terms of the level that they can reach, but this is fun. And yeah, I just want to keep doing it and being involved with the many great people that are in this community.
Glad to hear it. Well, do you have any final thoughts, Wes?
No. I was just gonna do like the standard throw out. So if you got anything, go right ahead.
Once you've done the shoutouts, I've been told where we're going next, so.
Okay, well, then, that all being said, Amarith already dropped all the commands. Be sure to give both of these runners a follow to see where they head next in their respective journeys in Link to the Past Randomizer or, streaming in general. Shout outs to Zeke for being on comms with me, Wessidevandal. Tracking, thank you to morgcl for tracking. Thank you to Amarith for pushing the buttons behind the scenes. Along with a bunch of other stuff she does for this community. Be sure to check out that Go Mode podcast and join the Go Mode podcast Discord, where we have the bi-weekly seed with each podcast episode. That all being said, I believe we're going to send you somewhere, and Zeke has the details on that.
Yep. We're going to switch up our Zelda game today, but Wes, do you remember about an hour ago when we got a raid from Zelda Speedruns 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going to send it back at Zelda Speedruns on their main channel, where there is a Wind Waker tournament game going on. So,
nice.
So if you like some more modern stuff like the Wind Waker, I believe it's a randomizer tournament for Wind Waker.
Alrighty.
And it's the losers bracket, so it should be good.
Indeed, it should. So enjoy that. Don't forget to stay tuned here. As you see on screen, we've got the Fighter Sword Bracket Finals Game 1. That match is happening in real time tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll see about a restream for that. But until then, enjoy Wind Waker, and thanks for joining us today. Until next time.